Alright guys, so today before I get into this amazing retro Spider-Man wave that you see here, I just want to let you guys know this is old school for me, man. This is like the whole radioactive Spider-Man, like just bringing it back. Of course, you have your Daredevil there. So aside from him, yes, you probably get glimpse of him in the actual old school cartoons, but it's really about like Mysterio and Green Goblin and all these guys over here, Electro. Love the fact that they came out with the Peter Parker cartoon version, and of course the Stacy Gwen that you see there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into a couple of these figures, but I wanted to show you guys more or less the Electros that have been out. Obviously there you see two of my Electros, and I'm gonna go ahead and get into that figure first. Definitely love the fact that they're dropping a lot of the villains. Hopefully they'll drop a lot more. Another figure that's also out is the Kingpin, which I also have, but I'll be doing a separate video on him. So just wanted to show you guys more or less the whole wave, aside from the Kingpin, who's not here because I'm going to be doing another video just on the Kingpin. And there, of course, you see some of my fearless foes and so forth. These are my older Spider-Man classic figures that you're looking at there. So just wanted to show those guys off. And of course, the Spider-Man that you see there, this is a McFarlane Spider-Man. Very hard to get Spider-Man as well. That's the Spider-Man that you see aside from the newest Spider-Man of the retro wave. So just wanted to talk about that real quick. And of course, today we're going to get into the newest retro wave of Spider-Man. All right, guys. So the first figure I want to get into is Electro from the Spider-Man Marvel Legends retro wave. And what we're looking at here is Electro. This Electro, however, comes with two hands, and the two hands he comes with is not the ones that are shooting electricity. The ones that actually come with this Electro are the closed fists. So just wanted to make sure that I mentioned that. There you see Electro in the box still, and of course you see the two closed fists that he comes with. So really cool Electro. And one comparison that I did was I compared him to the last Electro that came out by Hasbro, and this Electro is just a little bit bigger in scale. This one's a lot more slimmer in scale than this Electro that you see here. So just wanted to mention that. Also, the electricity coming from the hands, very similar, but this one of course is a transparent blue, and this one is more of that yellow electricity that you see there. So not bad, very cool. Like the transparencies that they gave them on the fingertips there, just shooting out the electricity, which definitely makes electrical currents there flowing through, and you could tell that Electro means business. So wanted to get a little bit into the head sculpt. There you see the ginormous electrical head sculpt that he has, and the electric currents that are coming down there. And of course, Electro is an amazing character from the old school Spider-Man wave. You see a lot of him and a lot of Lizard and all these other guys, but just wanted to show you on the side of the pants more of that electricity coming down all the way into the boots. And then of course in the back, same thing. One thing that you notice is that there is kind of like that black there, kind of like that mask, and it goes all the way over to the top of the head sculpt. So just wanted to show that off as well. And that's Electro for you. If you're looking at this Electro that you see here, you can tell in scale that he does look a little bit slimmer. This Electro obviously looks a lot more bulkier. This Electro has a slimmer look, almost like a Spider-Man scale Electro that we're looking at there. And then the face mask, of course. And then here you can tell the electricity is that transparent kind of like blue electricity coming out from the fingertips. And I really like this Electro. It's a different look because, you know, the pants are black. One thing that they kept true was the electricity that's coming down on the back and the front of the actual Electro. So you could tell the face mask, that black face mask in the back, going into that electrical current face mask that you see in the front. So I really like this Electro. This is the newest Electro out. This is from the Retro Wave, the Spider-Man Retro Wave by Marvel Legends. Alright guys, so the next figure I want to get into is Peter Parker. And here you see Peter Parker with the cool goggles that you're looking at there on the head sculpt. One thing about those goggles is they're kind of like pasted to the side. There you see they're kind of like glued there to the side. But they do move, and you can go ahead and put them up if you like. So just wanted to show him real quick without the goggles. And there you see Peter Parker with the goggles. Usually they probably did that for the purpose of you not losing the goggles, because usually when figures come with small glasses or shades, they usually get lost. So I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons why they actually pasted it to the kind of like the side of the head sculpt there. And then of course he comes with a traditional brown leather jacket. And this is the Peter Parker from the Spider-Man Retro Wave. And of course the baby blue shirt. It has some jeans and some white sneakers that you see there. I like the fact that they gave him an effect. Of course, this Peter Parker comes with a camera, and I think that fits him well, because obviously this is Peter Parker and he's always snapping shots of Spider-Man, especially in the cartoons. Even though he is Spider-Man, he's always snapping those shots of himself so he can continue working for the Daily Bugle. So just wanted to mention that. I think the camera is a really cool effect. And this is the newest Peter Parker by the Marvel Legends Retro Wave. I want to get into this head sculpt that you see there. I'm going to go ahead and interchange the head sculpts just to show you what that looks like. But I really like this. Kind of reminds me of like that spider senses are tingling kind of thing, where you see half of Spider-Man, half of Peter Parker. And this is a really unique head sculpt. First time seeing something like this, so I really dig it, and I think it's gonna be pretty epic to put it on to this Peter Parker figure, and maybe even into the Spider-Man figure, which we'll take a look at that in a little bit as well. So this is Peter Parker. I want to go ahead and show you just real quick the back of this Peter Parker. There you kind of see like the back of Peter Parker, more of that cool leather jacket that he's wearing, and then that is pretty much it. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch up the head sculpts. All right guys, so here you see him with the interchangeable head sculpt, that half Spider-Man head sculpt that you're looking at there. Let me give you a better shot of that, guys, sorry. And there you see the half of the Spider-Man head sculpt and the half of the Peter Parker. And usually when you see a head sculpt like this, it means he's probably going to run into some kind of trouble. That means his spider senses are acting up, and of course he's probably going to be running into a villain very soon. So just wanted to show that off, and I really like the fact that they did this head sculpt, something definitely new and unique to this Peter Parker. So this is the newest Peter Parker from the Spider-Man Retro Wave by Marvel Legends Hasbro. Alright guys, so the next figure I want to get into is the armored Daredevil that you see here. And I always say, and I call him the 2099 Daredevil, only because he looks so futuristic to me. And for those of you that see this armored Daredevil here, of course, there you have my armored Spider-Man from my Spider-Man classics. So just a good pair up to match them up and kind of put both of these armored Daredevil and armored Spider-Man together. Also, another good matchup would be, since I always say that this Daredevil looks so futuristic, is putting him with my 2099 Spider-Man that you see there. So I don't know if that would be a better matchup. I'm just saying, though, I think it looks cool. But this is the newest Daredevil from the Retro Wave, and I want to get into the head sculpt real quick. And there you see kind of like that black head sculpt and the red eyes. Obviously, this is Matt Murdock, who is blind, and all his other senses are up to par, man, when it comes to fighting skills and so forth. Daredevil is just one of those opponents that you really don't want to fight. Very trained in boxing and so forth and martial arts. So just wanted to show you what the Daredevil costume looks like. And this costume is the armored. So there you see kind of like that body armor in the front, that red chest plate and a little bit more of the armor on the abdomen. And then, of course, the double D for Daredevil. And here on the side, you notice it's almost like a transparent gray that you're looking at there, or mute gray. And that's the armor as well. They could have made that silver if you ask me, but then again, I don't know, maybe most of you guys might like it that way. I just think that the metallic patterns look really cool. They could have done something really cool with that. So I might customize it for my own personal reasons. But just wanted to show you kind of like the armor, man. The armor looks really cool. And there you see a lot of that black and red on the joints there. And then on the gauntlets, there you notice that transparent kind of gray. And same thing for the weapons. It's similar, kind of like that transparent gray a little bit, or that mute gray. One thing that I do like is the silver on the side of the legs for the body armor. That was pretty epic. I think that that's the silver I'm going to go with. Also for the armor on the shoulders. So just to let you guys know, I might do a video on customizing this guy, but for now, he looks pretty epic, and I'm glad that they dropped this armored Daredevil. If you notice here on the side, also has a lot of metallic patterns there on the legs, like I mentioned before, and then the same thing on the back. So if you're looking at the back here, you see a little bit more of those red plates there. And this is a really cool suit, man, to look at. Daredevil is definitely no joke, and if you're looking at the back of the head sculpt, you can tell a little bit more of that armor there to hold that head steady. And then, of course, this is by far the newest Daredevil from the SpiderMan retro wave, and it's just a really cool look, man. I really like this Daredevil. I like the fact that he also comes with some interchangeable pieces. Let me go ahead and show you that real quick. There you have the Matt Murdock head sculpt that we're looking at. And that is the Daredevil head sculpt with the red shades that you see there. And then he also does come with two interchangeable hands. These are the closed hands. The hands that he has on is the open hands, so he could hold those batons to fight. So just wanted to show that off. And yeah, man, really like this suit a lot. And this is the Armored Daredevil by the SpiderMan Retro Wave Marvel Legends Hasbro. All right, guys, so just real quick before I get into my Spider-Man, wanted to show you the Matt Murdock with the interchangeable head sculpt that you see there, just to show you what that looks like. And now finally we're going to get into this awesome Spider-Man that you see here. This is the Spider-Man from the retro wave, and it does look a bit like my pizza Spider-Man from the Hobgoblin Build-A-Figure wave, but there are a lot of differences if you really look into the actual scale. For instance, even the boots, first thing I noticed here, you see that they're pointy, and over here you see they're kind of like rounded off. So just a couple of different things that you notice in both figures. One thing also is the head sculpt. Love the fact that they gave him an interchangeable head sculpt. Getting into this retro Spider-Man you see here, I like the face mask. I like the fact that they kept the colors to the original Spider-Man that you see there. One thing I noticed is, of course, the spider in the center. And I mean, the color scale is really, really cool. The color pattern is really good. One thing that I noticed about the scale is that they made him a bit bulkier. If you notice there, this Spider-Man's a little bit bulkier than usual. One thing also that came with this is the closed hands that you see, the interchangeable hands. Those are the closed fists. And then the two head sculpts that you're looking at here, this is the one that came with my Peter Parker. But if you look at the face mask, they're very identical here. Of course, the eyes are not as open in the head sculpt that you're looking at here. The eyes are a lot wider, and you can tell they're more open. Here, they're more kind of closed a bit. Just a little bit more of that close, zoomed in, focused look for Spider-Man on the head sculpt. So wanted to show you that both these head sculpts actually fit onto the figure pretty well, and you could interchange them either or. So that's another cool thing to do, and I'm going to show you what they look like real quick with the interchangeable pieces. But love the fact that this Spider-Man came really unique. You see there a lot of cool tones to this Spider-Man, and of course they made Spider-Man a little bit more massive, not as skinny as usual. And then here you notice that red spider in the back, and of course the boots. Really neat, and really good job to this Spider-Man. Like the fact that they kept this Spider-Man like the Amazing Spider-Man you're looking at. And of course this is from the retro wave, and there you see the Spider-Man in the box that comes with that interchangeable head sculpt that you're looking at there. So just wanted to go ahead and show that off real quick. And this is the newest Spider-Man from the retro wave series, and like you can see here, the colors are a little bit more of that flat red and of course that royal blue, but here you see a little bit more of that shinier red, kind of like a good they gave it a good clear coat there. And this is the pizza Spider-Man from the Hobgoblin Build-A-Figure wave. So just wanted to go ahead and mention that one more time. And if you're looking at my other Spider-Mans here, you can tell these are more slimmer in scale. These are from the Spider-Man Classics. So, of course, the McFarlane one back there as well. Let me go ahead and zoom in on that for you guys. A lot slimmer in scale. But then again, those are from the Spider-Man Classics. So just wanted to show that. And this is the newest Spider-Man from the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Retro Wave. Alright guys, just wanted to show you that you could interchange the head sculpt. Obviously, this is the head sculpt that comes with my Peter Parker. So just wanted to show you what that looks like on the actual Spider-Man outfit. And it's a really cool look. Like the fact that they gave this head sculpt to that Peter Parker, and you can see that half Spider-Man, half Peter Parker look. So just wanted to let you guys know that also can be interchanged for your Spider-Man from the retro wave. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video on a couple of the figures from the Spider-Man retro wave. Please subscribe, hit that bell for the next notification, and definitely hit us with a like. I'm G Infinite. Peace out, YouTube.